Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So God give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Bahashem Rekah Korash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishop and elders of Great Millstone who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the ark, pushing his truth and believing his truth at the four ends of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the all who are listening and learning. If you sisters are listening and learning, coming at you with another lesson of true fact, faith, and education. Another day of education, Lord, wants to be edifying. So I titled this lesson, Cash, Paper, Greenbacks will be obsolete. Whatever you want to call it, chips, stacks, bread, whatever you want to call it, cash, paper, greenbacks will be obsolete. And this is an article, and it reads, is the U.S. dollar on the verge of being dethroned as the world's currency? Now I'm going to read some of this and get a couple precepts. But before I read that, let me get this. So I was watching Apostle Tahar video at the plantation, and he was making a point how Nate is just regurgitating. Nate and everybody else is just regurgitating what they was taught. And he mentioned the guy, Pesinius Niger, in the lesson that he did. And I just want to make this point real quick, because Apostle Ha was the one that went into the year of the five good emperors, which was Jake's. So he was making the point that Nate was talking about Septimius Severus was the first Jake, right? And during the reign of what it is, the Eastern Empire of Jake, of Jake taking over Rome, because the Western Empire failed. But you had Jake that took over the Eastern Roman Empire, right? So Apostle was mentioning this guy right here, Pesinius Niger. And it's cold because this word Niger is actually in Acts 13, man. It said that matter of fact, let me read it. Just to make this point. More edification, more, man. This is what we always say, the apostles always go into something all the time, man. Something that's extra. But he was going to the point how Nate and all these other guys are just regurgitating one West doctrine, right? This is Acts 13 and 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger. Okay, it say Niger. The word Niger, this is Pesinius Niger. Let's get the word Niger real quick. Let me go to Google, and I'm gonna show it to you on the screen. Lord willing. Let's get the word Niger here. And this is Niger. That's in Acts 13 and 1. Let's get this. Hold on, bear with me here. So it ain't it's cold. Now this guy name is Niger, man. Okay. So this is Merriam-Webster dictionary, right? I'm gonna show you this word Niger. So when you go to as it was taught in Revelations 20 and 1, when it said the angel that had a chain in his hand and cast down uh this beast to the bottomless pit, right? Let's get this. What you're talking about the rulership, Yahushua overall. Talking about Yahushua. But you had the Western Roman Empire failed by the Eastern Roman Empire that was ruled by Jake. So here's the word Niger definition. Now you see it. See, he started trying to cover these tracks. Because when you go into this now, then they talking about a Nigerian. No, that ain't what it's talking about. It's Esau trying to cover his tracks. So right here, nigger. See that? Now they got two G's, but right here in the block it say Niger. See it? Niger. Nigger. See that? But, but the term wasn't linked to what's being linked to it today as being dog, evil, wicked, void of light. No, say term for a black woman. They got both offensive. It's a term for a member of any dark skin race. See that? So if you look it up, it's gonna give you the garbage first, which is a term for a black person. No, it's a term for a member of any dark that they don't. Going back to it said, let's read again. This is Acts 13 and 1. And they say, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that were called Nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene and Manael, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. So they called Barnabas and Simon and Simeon and Lucius of Cyrene a nigger, meaning dark skinned person, man. That's all it means. So I want to make that point. So going back to this guy, Shalom to the Akim not walk tuning in, Yahba Shema Shav Rakatham. Shalom Zakon, Yahba Shema Shav Rakatham. Rakatha. So going back to this guy, Pesinius Niger, Pesinius Nigger. Look at his face on his coin. Jake, man. It's a
Gaius Pescennius Niger, 135 to 194, 135 when he was born, was a Roman usurper from 193 to 194 during the year of the five emperors. Pastor Hud did a lesson on this some years ago about the five good emperors. See, it said the year of the five good emperors was AD 193, in which five men claimed the title of the Roman emperor. It's a Pertinax, Didius, Julianus, Pescennius Niger, Clodes, Albinus, Septimus Severus. This year started a period of civil war when multiplied rulers vied for the chance. You got to go into the opening of it. So it say right here, during the year of the five good emperors, he claimed the imperial throne in response to the murder of Pertinax and the elevation of Denius Julianus, but was defeated by a rival claimant, Septimius Severus, and killed while attempting to flee from Antioch. See, I just read in Acts 13 and 1 that it was called Niger in Antioch, man. And you can't make this up. So the water, Yabashima Bashar, for the apostle to bring this out, man. So this was the guy that ruled before Septimius Severus took flight. So when you read Revelations 20 and 1, the beginning rulership of Jake was with this guy, man. Pescennius Niger. Then you had the year of the five good emperors, which was Jake. Septimius Severus came in, and his son, no, then you had after him you had Marcus Aurelius, and then his son Commodus, which all he wanted to do was drink wine and have sex when they show you in the show, what is it called, the show on Netflix, is it called I forgot the name of it. But they were showing you how Septimius Severus was warned, and Commodus, all he wanted to do was sit down and have sex and drink wine. But anyway, this is beautiful, man. So let's get right here. It say according to Historia Augusta, Nigel's parents were whatever. It also states that his grandfather was a supervisor of Aquinum. He may have been a half brother. He may have had a say who is recorded in the inscription to have been a member of the Arvel Brethren in AD 183 during the reign of Commodus. See, Commodus was the son of Marcus Aurelius because Jake took over, man. Anyway, I just want to make that point because Apostle Hart mentioned this guy, Pescennius Niger, because Nate said he was saying how Nate was regurgitating what was taught by Septimius Severus, took over the Roman Empire. Well, it was this guy started first, man. Just want to make that point. So in this article, get this article because again the dollar is crashing. So you got a couple precepts on this. Is the U.S. dollar on the verge of being dethroned as the world's currency? General Epstein looks at how the loss of the dollar's reserve currency status could impact the U.S. and world economy. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, and especially after Washington imposed sweeping sanctions on Moscow, a number of countries across the world, including Brazil, China, India, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa, have been pushing back against the hegemony of the US dollar in the global economy. As this de-dollarization movement picks up steam, we are forced to ask, is the US dollar's dominance under threat? Would ending the US dollar hegemony benefit the world? Hey, this is cold, man. It's a progressive economist, Gerald Epstein, sheds light on the de-dollarization debate in the exclusive interview for Truth Out. He explains the role the dollar plays as an international currency in maintaining U.S. global hegemony, discussing how imperialism helps to boost the currency role of the dollar and analyzes whether de-dollarization is really happening and how the loss of the dollar reserve currency status could affect both the U.S. and the world economy. Epstein is professional. prof- Epstein is professor and co-director of the Political Economy Research Institution at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, and author of a forthcoming book from the University of California Press titled "Busting the Bankers Club." Busting the Bankers Club, finance for the rest of us. See, the rest of us. See, the elites don't care about these people, man. It tell you in Ecclesiastes 14, he's a nigger at his own table, and that he's what did it say? He's envious at his own. He's not satisfied with his own goods, man. So they say the US dollar has been the world's principal reserve currency since the end of World War II. Hold on, making sure it's still going. You saw a little clip my stuff when I ain't looking at the comment board or looking at the page. It say the US dollar has been the world's principal reserve currency since the end of World War II, thanks to an agreement reached by the US and its allies at Bretton Woods in 1944. Lies. This is all the elites playing, man. They fund both sides of any war. It's a to create an international currency exchange regimen, a regime in which the dollar was pegged to gold. The U.S. what is this unilaterally served the links between the dollar and gold in 1971, effectively ended the Bretton Woods system, but the dollar still remains the international reserve currency, though non-dollar reserve currencies have increased substantially over the past 10 to 15 years. What is the actual role of the dollar as the primary reserve currency for the global economy? Hold on, real quick. I want to look this word up real quick. First time seeing it, I want to look it up so we can get the right pronunciation. This is, see what it say? Unilateral. And they say unilaterally. They got a L-Y on it. So it say unilaterally served the links between the dollar and the gold in 1971. Play it again. Unilateral. Which means of an action or decision performed by or affected only by one person, group, or country involved in a particular situation without the agreement of another or the others. See? Because this is the elites doing this, man. That's cold. Unilaterally served the links between the dollar and the gold in 1971, which is the elites, Oppenheimers and the Rothschilds, effectively ending the Bretton Woods system, but the dollar still remains the international reserve currency, though non-dollar reserve currencies have increased substantially over the past 10 to 15 years. What is the actual role of the dollar as a primary reserve currency for the global economy? Gerald Epstein, the US dollar is the dominant international money used in much of the world. It has held sway since at least the end of the Second World War and probably a bit before. First, I should explain the roles that international money plays. It said like domestic money, the gold, old US dollar used in the US, for example, international money serves in several different roles. It serves as a medium of exchange in everyday transactions. That is, you use it when you buy a piece of pizza or a new car. A second role is as a store of value to keep some of your savings in. For example, if you have a piggy bank, you must likely have dollar bills or coins in it. Third, it is used as a unit of account. That is the units in which prices are announced. For example, we are using the dollar as a unit of account when we say this banana costs $1.75, or this house costs $1,750,000, or I owe 25,000 in student loans that I still must pay because of the Supreme Court. International money is also used as a means of payment. That is, it is used to service and repay debt. This place is through, man. So let me get a couple precepts. This is going into things about how money works. Let's read this. It said, to what extent is the preeminent role of the U.S. dollar in the global economy linked to the size and strength of the U.S. economy? As the numbers I presented just above suggest, at the time the U.S. overtook the British pound sterling around the time of the First World War, the size and economic strength of the U.S. was very important to determining the international role of the dollar. But by the turn of the 21st century, the relative size and strength of the U.S. economy had greatly fallen. Indeed, the Chinese economy is or soon will be the largest economy in the world. Yet the overall role of the U.S. dollar in international money has remained dominant. Man, this place is crumbling, man. This is fight. That's a lot in here, man. I'm gonna have to just read all of this when I'm done with the lesson. It said the U.S. dollar has been facing challenges from the what is this? From the Rimaba and the euro in recent years to the point that there are growing calls for countries like Brazil and Southeast Asia nations for trade to be carried out in currencies beside the US dollar. Indeed, Russia and China have developed their own payment gateway, and more countries seek alternatives to the US dollar. Would you say that de-dollarization is real, and is it a good thing? So back up here, it said, to read this top again, it says right here. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, especially after Washington imposed, hold on, make sure the video good. Okay. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, and especially after Washington imposed sweeping sanctions on Moscow, a number of countries across the world, including Brazil, China, India, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa, have been pushing back against the hegemony of the US dollar in the global economy. As this de-dollarization movement picks up steam, we are forced to ask, is the US dollar dominance on a threat? Would ending the US dollar hegemony benefit? So, yes, benefiting because the world is tired of this bully, man. Everybody tired of the bully, man, which is Babylon the Great America. So this is let's get this in James. And this is the elite that's doing this, but the Lord is using them to condition 2/3 of our people, man. Cause see, this all gonna fall on Jake, cause everybody else is with it. The world is with the transformation, man. Everybody is with it. What you gonna do if you in a country and all of a sudden one day they said we ain't using no more cash, and you stay in this country? What you gonna do? You can't just up and leave. You working there, your family there. What you gonna do? You can't do nothing but adapt to that system. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. Well, the Lord, and this going for everybody brothers that scattered through the four corners of the earth, man. Right now is the moment. This is a transition. No more cash. And you got to go with the system. Well, we ain't gonna go. We going to a point where, hey, far as it's gonna go, because when they say you got to take this CBDC under your skin, then that's it, man. But this is the Lord bringing all this thing, bringing the micro C up to a head for it to reach America, man. Because everybody living in all, everything is all joyful. But to tell you what is that? Isaiah 32, the joyous city, man. Isaiah 32 and 13. This is that joyous city, man. Everybody living without cares. But it's gonna come upon a time you're gonna have to fold, or you're gonna have to go it out, man. Trusting that Yahweh Shema shall gonna cover you. What the scriptures say, he will cover the elect, the remnant, whoever they is. But this is that conditioning through gradualism, man. You gotta go with it, or you ain't. What you gonna do? This is James 5 and 1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl. Remember, all this is happening, but the Lord said he's taking away the stay. Let me read this real quick. In Isaiah 3, this is going to happen to the world, like I said, Revelation 3 and 10. But this is the Lord bringing the hammer down on 2/3 of Jake, man. Isaiah 3 and 1, for behold, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff. A staff represents beings having some type of protection, some covering, a hedge. Well, 2/3 of Jake trust in the so-called white man. So in Isaiah 36 and 6, when they say they lean, they should go into your hand and pierce it. Those that trust in the system, that trust in the government. For behold, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. The Lord is removing the hedge, man. 2/3 got a hedge too. Until they wake up one day and they lose their life. They've been wanting all their life, man. The Lord is showing the hopeful elect, is prepping the hopeful elect not to trust in this system, because Jake is leaning on this system and it's going to pierce your hand, like it said in Isaiah 36 and 6. Well, this is the conditioning through gradualism, because what you going to do? You gotta go. If you whatever country you're living in, and they just happen to change the money system, you got to go with it. What you gonna do? It say this is James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. And the Lord got them doing this, man. Yahweh Shema Shah got them doing this until it ain't gonna be nothing, man. You go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them, because they have heaped up so much, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. So what we are seeing is the Lord using the elites through conditioning and gradualism to prepare Jake, 2/3 of Jake, to just fall in line with the heathens, man. Because you want your money, right? The lottery at 1 billion, they say. What if you hit the lottery and get that money, man? Or you hit 100 million, whatever. How you gonna get your money, man? Eventually, you can't get cash, and they limited people all around the world from using how much you can get out the bank, out of the ATMs. They've been doing that, man. Now they clamping down on how much you can get out the ATMs. Why? Because ain't gonna be no more cash, man. You gonna use this and condition through gradualism. They got you using Apple Pay, PayPal, Cash Out, or whatever other out there that you can use to transfer money. That's conditioning you, man. And these niggas, these boy, you got what do they call this? Carbon footprint, right? Carbon footprint. Tracking your food, your money, right? Jake want to go get him an Apple Watch and put on his arm. Tomorrow, I walked 400 steps today. Esau know you walk them steps too, you slow belly nigga. Esau did too. He been he been following your steps all day. It's a tracking device. So if you can go on there and say, "Oh man, I walked 530 steps today. That's good for me." Esau watching too, man. Everything, man, is done through tracking. This is tracking you, what you doing, what you buying, everything, man. Everything, man. But the Lord got these bastards, these elites, doing this because it's all going to end up to the micro C hill, man. Don't be no fool, man. Now, of course, we know the scriptures say these nations, because the Lord say He have put in their heart. Let's read that. Nobody like the so-called white man, but they don't got no choice but to join Russia, because Russia is the next best thing to America, man. Revelation 17:17. For God have put in their heart to fulfill His will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled, man. So this is the Lord putting the spirit on these other nations, hey, to just give over. They don't got no choice. The Lord doing it. But they, hey, oh, was that Daniel's 2? Let's read this. In Daniel's 2, nobody like the so-called white man. This is Daniel's 2:43. It reads, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with miry clay. So the Roman Empire has mixed themselves, say, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, the miry clay is the 16 heathen nations. The iron is the Edomites, man. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. The seed of men is 16 heathen nations, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with miry clay. The iron is the Roman Empire. The miry clay is the 16 heathen nations. They don't like this bastard, man, but they don't got no choice because the Lord put the power on, put the spirit on them to cleave to the so-called white man. So since they departed from the American Edomites, they got to join the Russian Edomites, man. The Lord said He made Russia the bear, Gog and Magog to be a guard to the other 16 heathen nations because nowhere where you go at, you can't get around the Edomites. Jake told me he want to get a business. Nigga, do you know if you get a business and you flourish, that means you want the so-called white man to stay in power? That means he got to stay in power for you to flourish here. Because this is not our rest. The other nations got to cleave to this bastard because they don't got no other options. Job 9:24 said the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, man. Where you going to go? Where you going to get a deal at? I remember doing this CD that was out. It was called Sacrifice for Fame, right? And they was talking about how you had Dame Dash, it was Dame Dash, Jay Prince, Irv Gotti, and somebody else. And I forgot what they were trying to go behind the elites back, the industries back and get a deal. Where you gonna get a deal from? And they said in the Sacrifice for Fame clip, they said that Jay-Z snitched on Dame Dash, Irv Gotti, Jay Prince, and there was somebody else. So Jay-Z snitched on them because they were trying to go behind the industry back and get a deal. Who you gonna get a deal from, man? Where you gonna get a deal from? You see what they're doing right now? Esau done cornered the market on marijuana, on all the drugs. Where you gonna go at and get a better deal? Now these niggas saying now, all you gotta do is get you a marijuana license, a medical card, and you can come right up in the dispensary and you can get thousands upon thousands. You can just go in there and shop like you at the grocery store, man. Who gonna give you a better deal than Esau Edom, man? And if you find a better deal, they gonna wind up clipping them, man. Then they clip Gaddafi, man. Listen, you can't go behind these bastards, man. Then they tell you not in the Ezekiel 28 that they are what it say? Uh, there's nothing you can hide from them, man. These devils, you either gonna play ball, and if you don't play ball with them, what do? They send in the economic hitmen. That's why they got a agenda. It's called economic warfare. Go pull it up on Google. This is where they put sanctions and tariffs on other nations. And when they can't pay, they send an economic hitman, man. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So going back to the point of the elites controlling all this. So the other 16 heathen nations, okay, the miry clay, they got to go to the iron, man. Much as they don't want to go to the iron, they don't got no choice. The Lord set it up. That Proverbs 21:1 linked perfectly with that Revelation 17:17. It say, let's read it again. They can't go nowhere else, man. But they hate Esau, man. But then the Lord cold because who you going to run to? The Russian Edomites, which have not been um defiled, man. Them Edomites from Russia, all they doing is training for war, man. Practicing on how they finna slaughter the American Edomites, man. Cause they ain't going. All they do, they popping they on vodka and killing, man. Go look at the Ukraine, the drama that's going on over there, man. They drinking vodka and they killing, man. This is Revelation 17:17. For God have put in their hearts, who? These other 16 heathen nations, to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast. Who? The Roman Empire. Until the words of God shall be fulfilled, which is the elect being sealed. So they can't run nowhere, man. So seeing that they running from the North America Babylonian Edomites, Babylon the Great Edomites, they are running to the Gog and Magog Edomites because you either gonna run from one Edomite to another. The earth was given to the hand of the wicked. So let's read this in Obadiah. It looks good, man, but they all working for the elites, man, and the elites is working for Yahweh Shema Shai. And Yahweh Shema Shai is doing what? He's taking away the comfort of 2/3 of Jake, man. And they ain't paying attention to what's going on. Jake just moving with the system. Because the scripture said, what they say, they wanted after the beast, and who was able to make war with the beast? 2/3 of our people love the so-called white man. Okay, they got Stockholm syndrome, man. This is Obadiah 1:7. All the men, all of them of that confederacy, go read that in Psalms 83. All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. I was reading yesterday in Joel 2:20, man. The Lord said he removed far from America the northern army, and they already spread it too thin. America got to watch Taiwan from China. They got to watch Iran. They got to watch Israel from Iran, and they got to watch Ukraine from Russia, man. And Russia is going to get Ukraine back, just like they got Crimea, man. Crimea wasn't joined either to Russia, but they got them back. You know why? Because the Lord said in Ezekiel 38, he's going to put hooks into the jaws. That means when it was the old Soviet Union, they was all together. Crimea was in Soviet Union. Was they in that land? Crimea and Ukraine was there, man. All together as one. And the Lord is turning them back to that old spirit, man. That's what that is. And believe me, Ukraine will be joined back with Russia, man. It's just a matter of time. All the men in that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Future prophecy of these nations playing on Esau, Edom, slow belly mind, man. They don't know nothing. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Esau, America made everybody eat their bread, the petrodollar, man. Everybody bought and sold. Everything was bought and sold here, man. Now, nothing is bought, nothing is made here in America, man. Everything is made on the outskirts, man. They are losing. And they tell you in Galatians 6, whatever man soweth, it shall reap. As a matter of fact, in 2nd Ezra 5:42, everything that the so-called white man has done to all these nations is coming back to hunt them, as they say. 2nd Ezra 5:42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, Even so, there is no swiftness of the first. So everything they have done is coming back to bite them in the ass, man. Galatians 6 and 7. Let's read it. Be not deceived, God is not marked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Let's get this in Proverbs. They did a number. They did a number on the 12 tribes of Israel. And they also did a number on these heathen nations, man. That's why I tell you in Jeremiah 51 that the nations are angry, man. They mad. Well, guess what? All the nations got to drink the cup too. We read it last weekend in Jeremiah 25. This is Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. See, let's get this. This is Habakkuk 2 and 13. Habakkuk 2 and 14, verse 15, it reads, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And this is what we see, man. These nations is separating from Babylon the Great and joining the other Edomites, man. The real Russian Edomites will be considered real Edomites according to these American Edomites, man. They losing, man. Nobody want to, and nobody want to deal. Listen, the only reason the so-called white man, the only reason people cleave to these bastards because they got that power, man. If the Chinese had the power, the world would cleave to them, man. If Elon had the power to cleave to them, nobody like the so-called white man for who he is, man. Only reason they gotta be with him because he got the power, the money. The Lord said in Revelation 17 and 17, man. He have put the spirit on them to give their kingdom to the beast until the words of the Lord be fulfilled. Which is when the elect get sealed, all hell finna break loose, man. So this is the Lord is using these other nations to push CBDC, the micro C hip in America gonna be last, man. The article I read yesterday, man. They're gonna be last, man. Talking about is US being forced to take CBDCs. No, man. This is called propaganda, man. Reaction, problem, reaction, solution, man. It's conditioning the people to make the people think, oh man, we need to get on board. Go ahead. You have been conditioned to follow the wave, man. Normative bias. Where they say the new normal. No, normal isn't coming back. Yahweh Shai is, man. The prophecies is playing out, man. The world is trying to get away from these bastards, but the Lord got them cleaving until the elect get sealed, man. They got to cleave to the Esau Edom. So their only option is to join Russia. The Lord set the BRICS nations up, man, for these people to leave America to show you that prophecy is moving. Isaiah 13, when it said that ravens shall neither pinch tent there, right? Jeremiah 50 and 9, the assemblies of great nations is going to join Russia. Oh, the Lord said in Isaiah 13 again, he stirred up the Medes against them, man. This is the Lord showing prophecy. This is the Lord making these nations leave America and join the Edomites in Russia, man. That's the only option. And they still gonna be destroyed. The Lord is a master chess player, man. Cold, man. Is the US dollar on the verge of being dethroned as the world's currency? Yes, it is, man. But it ain't because of them. It's because of the Lord is doing this because the micro C here have to be moved this way, man. This is the Lord's doing. He's doing it strategically, man. And it's conditioning Jake's mind. That's what it's doing. The Lord is cold, man. Conditioning Jake's mind to follow That broad way, man. See, this is the broad path, man. What many that be that go at, this is the broad path, man. This is what Jake said. This is what we got to do. This is what's going on. We don't got no other choice. You know why? Because they asses don't know about the scripts, man. They don't know that the Lord say in Isaiah 65, those that cleave to Yahweh Shema Shah gonna eat. Jake can't see going 24 hours out eating or drinking, man. So the Lord got them blindsided, their ears shut up, their eyes closed. So they just following the wave. They are following the crowd. They have been conditioned. Again, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shah, have given power, earthly power to the so-called white man to persuade you to move carnally minded, to move in the flesh, man. Why? Because they don't know the scriptures. Tell you now, they're 28:7. Their table are full of vomit and filth, that there is no place clean. King David said it in Psalm 69. Man, let me read this, man. This is why, man, it's terrible, man. To think about this is terrible, man. Psalm 68:19 it reads, Blessed be Yahweh, who daily loadeth us with benefits. Jake don't believe that. They believe it comes from the so-called white man. Blessed be Yahweh, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the power of our salvation. Listen, man. Everything that we get, oh, let's get this. It's from the Lord, man. Jake think it coming from the so-called white man because they signing your damn checks, you slow-bellied niggas. This is Jeremiah 2. Now we know who's really in control, who's in power. When we was in the world, we didn't know, we didn't understand. Now we do. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Why is 2/3 of our people spoiled? Let's read it. 2 Ezra 9:10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. They think they benefits is coming from the so-called white man. You slow-bellied niggas. Proverbs 26:10 it reads, the great God, what did he do? That formed all things, both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors, man. It's the Lord. It's the Lord, man. Jake is around here boasting, proud and arrogant, and they don't know what's going on, man. The Lord has conditioned you through gradualism to follow after the beast. That's what they said. Let's read it. Revelations 13. Let's read it. Revelation 13:7. And it was given unto him to make war, Salakia. It say, Revelation 13:4. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Now, when you go down to verse 13, it reads, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. See? So they didn't see 2/3 of Jake. That's why Jake want to vote. They want to be a part of the system, especially after 1865, because allegedly 1864 slavery supposed to have been over with, but then it was still the few states that still had Jake slaves, and they didn't know they was free, but not free, that they was let loose. So in 1865, you got these slow-bellied niggas thought they was free. Now we here today, they talking about Juneteenth. We free, we made it. Where you made it at? When you still need a passport to leave America. Oh, there's an Edomite, called a little bring out. He said, none is more hopelessly enslaved than those that think they are free. Jake want to be a part of something, man. So it's and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. What miracles? He dropped bombs on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Bosnia, Yugoslavia. Look at this check. Elon Musk putting chips in people, talking about paraplegics and quadriplegics and Alzheimer's and dementia. These are so-called miracles. Oh, the technology. Look where we at. We went from having these big computers, these desktops. Now we got laptops. Now you can just talk to somebody on your Apple Watch. You got these handheld computers. Now they got a computer. You can flip the flip phone. This is wooing the people, man, to make them think. And you can ask the average person. The first thing they're gonna say, "Look how far we advanced. Look at the technology that the so-called white man has produced over these years. Look at where we at right now." Well, guess what, you slow belly niggas? It's gonna keep getting smaller until it's the grain of rice in your ass, you dumb niggas. But it's all conditioned through gradualism. Yahweh Shemawashai, the master chess player. Strategic moves the Lord is making, man. So it is what it is. It's supposed to be this way. Let's get this in Proverbs 12 and 26. Then the Lord say in Proverbs 3 and 31, envy thou not the proud finna say the devil. Envy thou not the oppressed and choose none of his ways, man. But Jake have been wooed with the technology. Jake love, man, I be looking at Jake and I be in the Wawa grabbing waters on the weekend for the brothers that camp. Jake just be swiping their phone, beep, tapping their phone. I mean, most of us got to do it. You using it. It's quicker. It's fast. You don't got to use your card, and they making it. You don't need your wallet. Women don't need their purses. We see women with a personality because she want to flaunt. She want to just show off her little Gucci or Louis or Prada or Dooney and Burke or whatever purse it is. It ain't because they need to hold their money. Cause every time I always see old Evite pull their phone out their purse and tap it on the little pay shit at the counter, man. Esau's Salakia, Yahweh Shemawashai is taking away your comfort, your stay and style, conditioning you to follow the wave, man. While the hopeful elect is walking the opposite way, man. Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than its neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. And what's the way of the wicked? To bring forth their new world order, man. Their one currency agenda to take that grain of rice, man. Either in your forehead or in your hand. This is where we at. This is conditioning, man. When you see that, oh yeah, the nations, everybody dumping the dollar. They supposed to. They supposed to dump the dollar. The dollar is dumping the dollar. The Lord got to set up. Everything is moving to digital. It's supposed. This is how the kingdom of heaven got to. This is how the kingdom of heaven is coming, man. It's coming through the crashing of cash to take you to Revelation 13, verse 16, man. This is how the kingdom of heaven come, man. Through the falling of the so-called white man's rulership, man. This is them. This is Yahweh Shemawashah playing chess with your mind. And if you have not cleaved to Yahweh Shemawashah, you're going to go, what it say? The simple believe it, every word, man. And they supposed to, because they the 2/3, man. They supposed to. It just makes sense. This is being conditioned through gradualism to just follow whatever the white man say. Because he's been right so far, right? His tech, we get the right. You got people riding around in these in these battery Teslas. You don't got to drive with gas no more. That's a woo to a person. I don't need gas. All they gotta do is just keep replaying. They talking about the batteries for the Teslas cost more than the car do when the battery get bad, man. But anyway, this is wooing the people, man. This is the world have been wooed through the so-called miracle. It said by the means of these miracles. They ain't miracles. It's damn witchcraft, man. Everybody is on weed, popping pills, drunk, just following any philosophy that it is, because that's Babylon the Great for you. Confusion, man. Just a little rant, couple precepts. Lord wants to be edifying. Oh, let me get this. Let's read this again. Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. And what's the way? Join in to our new world transition, a carbon footprint. And everybody, Jake is with it. I used to love watch the Jetsons. This is what these Edomites trying to go at, man. With the Jetsons, man. And if you ever watched the cartoon, they was riding around in chariots on there, man. Wasn't no cars, man. Okay? They was hovering around in spaceships, chariots, man. It say the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them, man. This is Proverbs 3 and 31. The way of the wicked is seducing two-thirds, which it's supposed to, because the Lord has put the mind on these elites to do this. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Period, man. Well, the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, man. And you two-thirds slow-belly niggas gonna take it, man. As you supposed to. These are the same ones that said crucify him and let his blood be on us and our children, man. These are the same two-thirds from the time coming out of Egypt. They died in the wilderness, man. And they dying now. Left and right. They dying all over, man. And most of you ain't even gonna make it to the missiles. You're gonna die. You're gonna be eating on somebody, or somebody gonna be eating on you, man. Or it's gonna be an animal eating on your ass, man. Them missiles are reserved for those slow belly niggas that take that grain of rice, man. That RFID microchip, man, which is the mark of the beast in Revelation 13 and 16, man. The Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders over all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening learning. Ye few sisters who are listening learning. To all for tuning in. May you help by Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Again, to all for tuning in. Shalom. Wa Abba.